Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Good Friday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our 2 p.m. First Alert weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we take a look across Michigan for more snow chances, but most importantly, colder temperatures as a cold front is starting to move its way through the state here at the 2 o'clock hour. We start off looking outside. This is our US 10 camera, and it is showing us windy conditions are starting to set up. So you can see the flags blowing there on the bottom left corner of our screen. The one nice thing though that we're seeing is not much snow falling from the sky. There will still be some slick spots out there, but things have definitely improved here as we've entered the 2 o'clock hour after we had that freezing drizzle in some spots this morning, but we also had that snow chance move through. There will be a few isolated areas at times, but for the most part we should be dry here through the remainder of the day. It's just dealing with those stronger wind and those dropping temperatures. We'll also take a look outside towards downtown Saginaw. Do apologize, our camera is a little bit out of focus there, but showing dry conditions. And then we look to downtown Flint, very similar. Cloudy skies, dry conditions though, and you may be seeing some winds starting to increase, especially down there to the south. When we look at our sky tracker, things are looking relatively quiet. There is some light snow there to the north that is developing sort of behind that front as it moves through. That's just going to be for Ogama, Roscommon, Clare, Gladwin County. It should be very light, but just enough that you will notice it as you get out and about here for our Friday afternoon. And again, there could be some more developments along that cold front, but for the most part, things will dry out. We'll actually end up seeing a few chances of sunshine here through the remainder of our day. Now, temperatures are starting to fall where you see that cold front moving in. You can see Holton Lake already at 23, so that cold front is really just right about, I'd say, here right now. So as you can see, I did draw it. That's right where that cold front is sitting. Behind that is where we see winds starting to increase. That's also where we start to see temperatures dropping. So 23 right now in Holton Lake, 28 in West Branch, 25 in Gladwin and Clare. Front of that cold front, though, still sitting in the 30s, 32 in Bay City, 32 in Saginaw, 33 in Caseville, 31 in Flint. Mount Pleasant, you're at 33, but again, at any moment, that cold front's going to move through and your temperatures will start to drop. We look at our temperature trend, it does show that drop starting as early as the next hour, getting back into the 20s widespread through 4 and 5 p.m., then back into the teens as we get through about 7 to 8 p.m., continuing to drop through tonight into tomorrow morning. One thing we will have to watch as we get through tonight is cloud cover. If we can lose that cloud cover a little bit more, temperatures may drop even more than what we're seeing with that cold air filtering in from the northwest. And that's mostly with the help of our wind being from the northwest. So right now that northwest wind is setting up. It's at 5 to 25 miles per hour with the strongest winds up towards Roscommon County. And our wind gusts are now getting up to 40 miles per hour. That's at our Holton Lake sensor there, 38. West Branch at 31. Saginaw has now recorded wind gusts up to 32. So really showing you what we're seeing behind that cold front is not only that drop in temperatures, but those windier conditions setting up. So if you did get some accumulating snow this morning and yesterday, and you are in an area that maybe deals with blowing snow, don't be surprised this afternoon if you do come across that blowing snow being a concern to creating snow drifts and blowing snow, reducing visibilities on roadways. So please be careful this afternoon if you do come across that. The one thing that we will see is as temperatures drop, any of that new snow accumulations will start to harden up. So eventually you'll get to a point where that snow should become hard enough on the top layer. That blowing snow starts to lessen as we get through the remainder of our Friday. But with that combination of dropping temperatures and stronger wind, we are setting up to have a cold night. And with that, the National Weather Service has issued a cold weather advisory for all the counties highlighted below. We'll have to see what the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids decides to do, but right now it's counties out west, Gratiot and Isabella counties that are not in that cold weather advisories. It's the rest of the counties in mid-Michigan that are sitting there for tonight into tomorrow morning with wind chills down to 15 to 20 below zero. So with that development, frostbite can occur in 30 minutes. So if you do have to be outdoors tonight, I know it's Friday. I know many people want to be out and about, hanging out with friends and family. Just make sure you're bundling up. It's that exposed skin outdoors that can cause frostbite to develop with our colder wind chills through tonight. And we can see that here in our future feels like by about 8 p.m., I think we start to see those teens below zero set up. And then by midnight, I think it's more teens, 20s. I think our coldest wind chills will be out in Huron, Sanilac, Tuscola counties, and then north of the bay there, East Tawas looking at 18 below zero. So definitely going to need to be bundled up. We have West Branch at 17 below, Holton Lake at 15 below, and that continues into tomorrow morning. This is at 6 a.m., seeing that sort of continuation of teens and 20s below zero. So Standish at 12 below, West Branch at 17 below, Bay City, Saginaw, Flint in those lower teens below zero. So just a cold morning there. So a cold start to our weekend. Luckily, by the afternoon, it does look like temperatures will recover back into those teens, and our feels like temperatures will be back above zero for many locations. It's just going to be areas out, I think, across the shoreline cities in the Thumb and then north of the bay that, it's going to be a little bit windier. You may be a little bit cooler, still sitting below zero, so still a cold one. Now, did want to quickly look at the weekend planner just to show you what we are eyeing as we get through both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday does hold a dry day. It's going to be mostly the partly cloudy skies. We'll see the sun though. Temperatures a little bit cooler, upper teens for our highs. The one thing is our winds continue to stay breezy. It's a northwest wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 25. So a breezy Saturday. By the evening on Saturday, our winds will start to calm down, and then we'll get into Sunday. It's mostly sunny skies. Temperatures back into the 20s with just that southeast wind at 5 to 10. So a little nicer for Sunday, definitely though cooler than what we had today and what we're going to have as we get into the new work week next week as temperatures get back into the upper 20s and mid to lower 30s by midweek. With that, I don't see any questions in our chat. I am going to take a quick break. Once I come back from our break, we're going to be looking at our hour by hour. We're going to be looking at temperatures for the next couple of days, our wind setup, and our 7-day forecast. So you're going to want to stay right here. Well, welcome back to the second half of our First Alert weather live stream here on our Friday afternoon. We're going to start off this second half looking at our hour by hour where, again, there may be some light snow chances, but for the most part, we're going to see that chance move away as cloud cover tries to leave us here through the remainder of our afternoon. I am not going to count out some sunshine as we get through 4, 5, and 6 p.m. just before sunset tonight. Then as we get through the night, we continue to see skies clear. As we wake up Saturday morning, I think we are going to see some sunshine. Some cloud cover does build itself into the afternoon on Saturday, but the nice thing is we look to stay dry. That will be really a trend for most of the weekend. There is a small snow chance early on Sunday morning as a weaker clipper system moves in. I think this has also shifted or has models have started to shift this a little bit farther south-southwest, so we'll see how it plays out. I think it's just keep an eye out for some lighter snow Sunday morning from about 6 a.m. to, I'd say, noon. The rest of Sunday should be on the drier side, just seeing a mix of sun and clouds into Sunday afternoon, then cloud cover trying to build as we get through Sunday night into Monday morning. But for the most part, we should be dry as we head into Monday. You're probably going to hear a lot more about it. We're going to continue to look at our colder temperatures for tonight. Lows for tonight, again, those lower single digits with areas sort of to the north and to our east into the thumb getting below zero. Bad Axe, Caro, Sandusky, all at 3 below zero. Port Hope at 1 below zero. And then areas like West Branch and Houghton Lake also sitting below zero. You're getting those above zero temperatures as you move into the Tri-Cities and down to the south. So hopefully that continues to be the trend. Again, cloud cover will determine some of this. If we do end up getting clear skies at times tonight than what we anticipate, we may see more temperatures approaching below zero, especially into the Tri-Cities. Because we're going to stay windy tonight, our feels like temperatures are going to reflect that trend of windy conditions and colder sky or colder temperatures. So by the time we get to 8 p.m., our feels like temperatures are sitting in the single digits, teens, and 20s below zero. So definitely a cold one out there. Midnight still holding that trend. And then as we get up tomorrow morning, 6 and to 7 to 8 a.m., it's those feels like temperatures sitting in the teens and 20s below zero. So that is why the National Weather Service has issued that cold weather advisory for tonight into tomorrow morning. Now, the timing for this is a little bit different based on counties. Some counties you're going to see this cold weather advisory end right around, I'd say, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. A few counties it goes until noon. So you may want to go over to our website at wnem.com, go over to our weather tab, and then go over to alerts so you can just see when this alert ends for you, because every county is a little bit different. Some counties, again, is a little bit earlier into the morning, some it's a little bit later into the day, just as you hold on to those colder temperatures. As you get through the weekend, your highs for Saturday, like we've mentioned before, a little bit cooler. It's mid to upper teens, a few lower teens as you move out towards Sanilac and Huron County. Bad Axe at 12, Port Hope at 12 degrees, Sandusky at 14. But as you move to the west and to the north, you start to get more of those warmer teens. Bay City, Midland at 19, Saginaw at 16, Mount Pleasant and Clare also at 19. Then we get to our highs for Sunday, and we're right back into the upper teens and lower 20s. So starting to trend upward just a little bit. That's really the signal that we're seeing as we get into the new work week. But definitely still cold out there. You're going to need to be bundled up. It's still February. I think most people are used to it being in the 20s and teens. But obviously with that warm up into next week, this is going to feel a little bit cooler than what we anticipate towards really Wednesday and Thursday of next week. And like I've been talking about, we are windy. We're going to continue to be windy through the rest of our Friday afternoon. This is 7 p.m. tonight. Still seeing winds from the north-northwest at 20 to 40 miles per hour. There will be a few areas across the northern portions of Huron County that could get you up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. I think it's a very isolated chance, but it is there as we get through our afternoon. We'll go back to that real quick. I just hit the button an extra time. I do apologize for that. Sometimes it does happen. As we get through midnight, winds still relatively breezy, but definitely calming down just a little bit more. Wind at 15 to 30 miles per hour, a few wind gusts up to 40, especially towards Port Austin, Port Hope, north of Bad Axe. So that will be an area, I think, blowing snow continues to be a concern. As we wake up for our Saturday morning, winds continue to stay breezy. This is through midday. But by the end of the afternoon Saturday, this is 6 p.m., we really start to see that calming setup for wind. And then Sunday looks to be another calm day, just a southeast wind by 8 a.m. Sunday. That's going to be the one change we do see, is that calming condition or that calming trend, but also a change of direction. Our wind by the time we get into Sunday morning is going to be out of the south-southeast. So sort of a 180 flip from what we see from Saturday. Into the afternoon and evening Sunday, we may see a lighter breeze, but for the most part, it does look to be on the calmer side as we get through Sunday. Don't see any questions over in our chat either. So we will be looking at our 7-day forecast right before we end the stream. Again, that snow chance was early this morning, has moved out. Temperatures are going to start to drop. We'll be back towards 0 tonight into tomorrow morning. As we get through your weekend, it's teens and 20s. There is that light snow chance early Sunday, but by the afternoon we should be dry. Monday's holding drier conditions with temperatures in the upper 20s, and then those 30s and upper 20s continuing for Tuesday, Wednesday, into Thursday. We will have to keep an eye out for some lighter precipitation for Tuesday into Wednesday. I will say that trend continues to lower as we've gotten through the last couple of days, so that's a good sign. I know we really don't want to see any of that isolated wintry mix try to develop as we get into the lower 30s and upper 20s like we even had this morning, but still that possibility. It's a small chance, 20%. We'll obviously be keeping you updated here over the next couple of days with that. And then Thursday, right now, continues to hold drier conditions, just temperatures upper 20s, getting that cloud cover. But like I typically say, that's a far ways away. Things are definitely going to change as we get through this weekend. And you'll be able to get more updates from the TV5 First Alert Weather Team on our live streams that we'll have. We'll have another live stream this evening at 9 p.m. where TV5 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will have updates on the weather. We'll also have some live streams this weekend. You can also check out our newscasts at 4, 5, 5:30, and 6 for the latest weather updates from the TV5 First Alert Weather Team. And you can also head over to our website at WNEM.com where you can get more weather updates on our weather tab. You can also get more news updates and sports updates from our sports and news teams. But with that, I don't see any questions over in our chat. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. I will again have more updates later in the afternoon and evening. I hope everyone stays warm as we enter the weekend and stay safe. Have a good rest of your Friday.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.